and welcome back to the show. It's I Quit My Band, the famed comedy and music podcast.
Renowned.
Local, regionally renowned.
Regionally renowned podcast.
It's fucking awesome.
And skit troupe.
And skit troupe, yeah. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Comment down below. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. Follow us on Patreon, $5 a month. I appointed to the shirt. Get the shirt for down in the description, and follow us on Patreon, $5 a month for bonus content, weekly bonus content. And yeah, you're gonna want to keep up with all that. But yeah, little news in our life. We got we were featured on a legendary radio show this morning, which is crazy.
Yeah.
No, we weren't on it. But one of our skits was played it. Yeah.
102.5 WDVE in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that shit since I was like 7
8
years old.
It's so cool that you got... Did you get, like, messages from people that heard you, or was it just Evan?
Just Evan. No one listens to
I would have
DVE
had
though.
no idea if you didn't say anything.
I wouldn't have either.
I'm also a little older than you guys, so a lot of my friends still listen to terrestrial radio.
yeah.
They might not listen to our podcast, but they do listen to the classic
radio.
rock.
The morning
Still
shows,
tune in.
the morning shows is very popular, and they do a nice job of like bridging the gap between sports and pop culture. I think a little bit.
But yeah, I woke up and got like 5 messages right in a row. And they're like, dude, they played the funeral skit on WDVE.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, dude.
So crazy. I texted my mom, and it was the most excited she's been about anything I've ever done.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I can't wait to tell my parents. Like they've been like, I've told them like a couple of the clips are taken off. They're like, huh, okay, dude. If I tell them that Randy Bauman, formerly the Jim Krenn morning show,
Randy Bauman
played
show.
one of our skits, they're like, that's Pants-in-That.
My dad would buy like the
Comp
Scott
CDs.
the Scott Paulson Jim Krenn comp CDs, and then it turned into Jim Krenn and Randy Bauman, and we would just put them in the PS2 and just listen to them.
That's awesome.
I had my dad, same thing.
Yeah.
We just ride around the like 98 Ford Explorer
Yes,
listening to Paulson and Krenn, dude.
Just the Stanley P. Kachowski skit is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Still to this day, I still quote that. And the first time I heard it, I was 6 years old.
I played live on DV like back in the fall, and people were more excited about this. Like I got more attaboys.
They did give you. They gave you a shout out. They gave Melt a shout out on the show,
nice.
which is cool. They recognized.
Oddly,
you.
no mention of TVs.
No
That's
mention.
fine.
Of
That's
or
fine,
that I think that was the guy from Ugly Blondes.
Yeah.
None of that.
No, certainly not the band that we were all part of.
Yeah, not
they
that
got
one.
zero.
Yeah.
But that was cool. That was
It
really
was
nice.
it was exciting. It was a good way to start the day, and gave us some energy for tonight to do another classic review. We're doing anniversary albums. This album is 30 years old as of this year, 2026. It's Rage Against the Machine's Evil Empire. You kind of chose this one. What made you want to do Evil Empire?
I can't remember like the specific reasoning, but I had made mention in the past that, or in like previous episodes, that like a New Year's resolution was I'm trying to like expand my horizons, listen to more shit. So I have like this list I'm churning through, and it's mainly 60s and 70s stuff. But for some reason, I just felt drawn to like what's Rage's most legendary record, and a lot of people would say Evil Empire. I've seen the art a million times, and obviously there's like 3 or 4 songs on the album that I've heard so many times. But I wanted to see what it was all like as like a whole thing, you know. Do they delve into acoustic numbers? Spoiler, no. Yeah. Are they mad the whole time?
Yes.
And I was like really pleasantly surprised. So when we were thinking through what classics we could do, I looked at my list. I'm like, oh fuck, that came out in '96. Yeah. I also came out in '96.
Oh, look at you, dude.
Of the womb.
You came out in '96.
And the closet.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
straight away, dude.
You might want to correct yourself.
Both
I
at
came
the
out
same
in
time.
96.
But yeah, 230th anniversaries going on. So,
Yeah.
you know, Evil Empire, man. It's, you know, I was excited that you guys were down to do it.
Yeah. Bulls on Parade is one of the first probably the first Rage Against the Machine song I ever heard in my life, and it like immediately changed my perception of like what anything could be with rock music. Like, I think I was aware of like Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age at the time. It was like definite LimeWire download days when I heard Bulls on Parade. But like just hearing the wow 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 wow, and you're just like, what the fuck is that? And then someone's like, it's a guitar, and you're like, shut the fuck up.
He's scratching records, but it's a guitar.
Yeah.
And then how monstrous the second riff is, or the first riff is.
The first riff is, the one of the coolest things ever. And then, like, just getting obsessed with them. I think, you know, when I was a kid, I was probably more of a Rage poser. I think that's like it's like Rage Against the Machine disease when you're a kid. It's like, you hear that, you hear the messaging, you hear the name, and you're just like, fuck the government, right? You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Also, you know? Where we both grew up, it's like, we can't relate to that at all.
People ain't seen a brown-skinned man since your grandparents bought one.
Well, yeah, it's like, that is the classic thing with Rage, is like, you get into them when you're 12.
When you're 12, yeah.
And just the energy, you just put that to, like, your gym teacher.
Yeah.
You know, like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
I can't do the V-sit and reach.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do 25 push-ups.
They are the deciders. What is that live performance when they it's like before they play Bulls on Parade, I think.
I can't remember.
Festival.
It's awesome though.
They are the deciders
of my fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have pretty much the same experience. Bulls on Parade specifically because when I first started playing guitar, they sell like the 1,000 tab, like 1,000 songs that you can play in tabs.
The book.
And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to know how to play every song.
Yeah.
And then every song is too hard to learn. Right. And then I looked at Bulls on Parade, and I'm like, it's 2 notes.
It's so easy.
And the first riff is the same as the second riff. You just like play it like a chord. So I was like immediately like, Tom Morello's a genius.
Yeah.
There always been a band that I feel like I've been more on a song level than an album level.
Me too. Yeah.
I do like their debut quite a bit. I grew up listening to that a lot. And I don't know if I've ever, before we did this, listened to Evil Empire front to back.
I had the same experience. Like I think Evil Empire for me was like, I felt like I did know it, and then like as soon as we jumped into it, I was like, I've never heard Year of the Boomerang. Like I don't think I've ever listened to that one. Like I think the ones I knew off of this one were like front to back, People of the Sun, Bulls on Parade, Vietnow, Down Rodeo, and that may be it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of like conversation online like which is the best Rage Against the Machine album, and I feel like this one doesn't like make the cut for a lot of people. I feel like it is like their debut that is put over that, and maybe Battle of Los Angeles. But the sound of this record, listening it front to back, is incredible.
It's so good, dude.
Yeah, if I had to make a decision between the two, I think that the debut has better songs. Yeah. Like there's some stuff on this album that kind of blends together, like towards the back half. The songs have like a similarity between them.
Yeah.
But the way it sounds is so awesome, especially Zach's voice.
Yeah.
Like the way it's in the mix, he's kind of like fighting constantly. Whereas like on the debut, it was a little cleaner. He would do like overdubs, like to double his voice at times. That like going back and listening to the debut, there's like a couple production tricks that like feel corny in comparison to how raw and cool Evil Empire sounds.
Yeah. Go ahead. No,
I was gonna ask, did they record it live? I know they recorded one of their albums live. I thought it was Evil Empire, but maybe I'm wrong.
It has that type of element. I mean, the shit that Tom Morello's doing is like somewhat inconceivable that he is doing that live, but I also would not put it past him because he's like such an innovator of like weird sound coming out of a guitar.
It's kind of weird to be pigeonholed as that kind of guitarist, though. You know, it's because like eventually you're gonna run out of tricks. That you can do that's not playing the notes.
There's those videos of him like holding his Stratocaster by the whammy bar, go and it's like that's awesome. You're very clearly like very that's like an extension of your body. You know exactly what to twist and what to do, but also like, dude, are you gonna shred?
Yeah, exactly.
Put the guitar on.
Put it on. Yeah.
Did you see the video of him? He just takes his guitar cord out of his guitar and he just starts like pressing the end of the input cable like against his hand, and it's like beep beep beep, and like,
oh, that's awesome.
and he's like, check this out, and then like people in the comments were like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's so stupid.
I mean, he is an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
Technically and all that kind of stuff, and I mean, the riffs he wrote are unbelievable. But he's definitely, I could see an argument for like a gimmicky type, criticism. But he still comes up with shit. You know?
Well, there's like especially with rock guitar, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what really can you do with the guitar?
Yeah.
And he was one of the last guys that at least found something that you could do
True.
that's new. And it was like, turn on a bunch of effects and make it sound like the first time I heard the turntable solo in Bulls on Parade, I was like, that is the coolest thing ever.
Me too.
And now that I've recreated it somewhat, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, there's even more impressive turntable solos on this record. Like, I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be Without a Face has like an insane, like it sounds like a actual record scratch, and then it goes into his like the guitar like kind of like
kill switch,
and then it goes into like his typical Tom Morello stuff, but like it's like so measured and structured, even though it's like basically nonsense. Like he has he's doing it with a purpose, which is cool
for sure. I think like Down Rodeo is the coolest song I think they've ever written.
Yeah,
I agree.
probably.
And I think it's like his guitar magnum opus.
Yeah.
Because like the opening riff is so cool and so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were singing it earlier.
and then it does like the like turntable thing. Like
it's amazing.
Like all of the tricks and weird and cool things that he can do come together in such a cool way on that. And then like it opens with like a shoegaze
it's like
sort of lick. Like it's very different than a lot of the stuff. Because the one thing I will say about Rage, that sometimes when it's just like an album track, some of the riffage can feel like heavy Chili Peppers.
Yeah, no. I was going to bring that up. Like, I mean, it's like after... Like, we're listening to this in retrospect, so like Audioslave in this time period is a thing. So like when you hear Audioslave and then you go back and listen to Rage, you're like, was Rage corny, or did they just make themselves corny by doing things like Audioslave and like being like like making these sick riffs a part of like radio rock canon of 2005? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, and I think that I don't know everything about Zach De La Roche or Tom Morello.
Roca. I have to start.
Is it Roca?
I have to start
Roca?
correcting you.
I kind of like that people get upset that I mispronounce things.
You fucked up that Carvel.
Luther. And what did it do? It drove engagement. I actually did know it's called Luthier, but I was like, I'm just calling it Luther. Fuck it. So Zach De La Roca and Tom Morello, I would have to guess, just everything that I've seen from Tom Morello, that Zach De La Roca was the one bringing a lot of like the political, like seriousness. Tom Morello seems like a guy that just like really wanted to be a rock star. I definitely think he's politically minded, but like you have Audioslave to follow it up, which is just like an FM rock band. Yeah. You have Prophets of Rage, which is crazy,
ridiculous,
and then Lockup, which is the band that he was in before. Which is basically the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
It's like Chili Peppers, what the hell?
Faith No More.
Faith No More kind of thing.
Before Mike Patton.
I remember seeing that video, and it's it's mind-blowing, because like the lead singer looks like Jamie Gum from Silence of the Lambs, and then the rhythm section is like two different versions of Tom Hanks.
Yeah. One of them's Tom Morello.
The other is Tom Morello.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think what propels it past the Chili Peppers-ness is that Zach has like a way cooler sounding voice, and he never sings. Like he's not key to sing shit. Like which I heard some producer came out and said like recently, it was like in Consequence, that he thinks that Anthony Kiedis is legitimately tone deaf.
That's awesome.
Which is really funny. Anyways, that's besides the point, but it's the fact that he never sings. He's always just yelling and pissed. But that leads into my second point. They're pissed.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like
they're
not celebrating anything. They're not trying to make any type of like anthems for people to like, you know, drink beers to. They want you to kick the shit out of a cop.
Yeah.
You know.
And they do make music for kicking the shit out of cops and drinking beers too.
Yeah.
I mean, if it depends on the situation.
Yeah, I guess it does. A rage beer. Or something.
A rage beer. Yeah.
The his performances, Zach's performance on the whole record are just unfucking believable.
His voice is awesome.
Such a singular.
He sets such a tone on People of the Sun. Like when it's like, it feels like you're listening to a live recording when that song comes on, because he's like hyping up the band, hyping up like a crowd. Like I want to say it was Evil Empire, but I don't.
I'll look it up.
I looked up the album, and I don't think it was, but I know that they recorded one of their albums live in front of people, and I thought it was recorded at Sound City because I feel like I remember seeing it in that Sound City documentary.
I like that documentary.
It's a good documentary.
Yeah.
I felt like I remember seeing it in that documentary, but it didn't say it was recorded in Sound City, so it couldn't have been.
No, it wasn't. Not that one.
But I know that they did that, so maybe they did the same thing here. But it's cool that he just like, you know, is able to get your juices flowing like without even, you know, you're not even like in front of him, but it's so energetic right away.
Yeah, and I gained a lot more appreciation for the rhythm section listening to the record this time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're growing up, and especially if you're playing guitar, all you're thinking about are like the monster riffs,
solos, Slash, Angus Young,
100%.
Yeah.
But hearing, what's the drummer's name?
Brad Wilk.
His kit on this fucking record sounds so good.
Yeah.
The fucking kick drum is incredible,
and he's hitting it so hard.
Oh, dude, smashing! And then you don't realize until you've tried to play these riffs in your shitty amp with a shitty guitar that the bass is doing a lot of the heavy lifting to make those riffs sound fucking enormous.
Oh, you got to fill it out when Morello's doing all of his dicking around. You know, you kind of just got to sit there with like your thick slab.
Yeah.
You know,
I think such a cool example of that is on Vietnow.
Yes.
When like, you know, you have like the riff like that like
Yeah.
Morello starts off the song, but when the drums and when Brad Wilk and Tim Comerford come in, like the bass just makes it fucking huge.
Yes.
Like it's crazy. And that was like the biggest thing I thought about on this record is just like people talk about the intensity of Zach De La Rocha, the political stuff, you know, Tom Morello's weird playing and weird riffs. But like not as many, like people should talk about just how good of a rhythm core those three guys are. Like, because Brad Wilk doesn't do anything fancy at all. He's like strictly a meat and potatoes drummer. But then you listen to how locked in Morello and Comerford are, and like they're just matching each other's vibe the entire time.
Yeah, I agree.
But his feel is so fucking good. Like those grooves are so heavy and in the pocket.
Yeah,
whoever recorded the album like just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and you can see why when Sabbath needed somebody.
They
like
went with Will.
That
yeah, that's
because
a good
like
point.
A lot of the riffs on this record do sound like if a 7th, 6th Sabbath record was made.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so much, like listening to Revolver, which is a song that I wasn't really that familiar with. Like that song seems like almost also a precursor to stoner metal.
Yeah,
and like the weed smoking riff bands that like we make fun of sometimes but love. Like those riffs are like it's like a slow blues riff, but it's just like so low and trudgy.
And then like that like faster chorus riff that like down like there's so much 70s rock in it, but they're able to make it not corny.
Yeah.
You know, just by laying into the drums,
Yeah.
making it as loud as possible, and not having a guy try to sing like "Baby Maybe" over it.
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Robert Plant. Instead, he's screaming about inequality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's just really what they did on this album and the self-titled and whatever. Like this early run they had was so like genuine and creative.
Yeah.
Like there really wasn't any other band out there sounding like them. You know,
No.
which is like in rock music, it's kind of hard to sound unique.
How could you sound like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like
true.
there's really no other band that's going to sound like this unless it's Audio Slave because it's them.
Yeah,
But like
But even Audio Slave.
even Audio Slave, it
sound
doesn't.
like that.
No, it doesn't. But like I'm
There's
just
no
talking
like
about.
a stone on
There's no like a stone. There's no I am the highway.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
But like I just mean like sound wise, like
Yeah.
they still had like the heaviness in Audio Slave, but like I mean it feels like a very unique thing, like with those three guys and Zach being the front man, like you're just like it's never going to be replicated, and if it was replicated, it would be immediately like
it would be
called out
panned.
for being a Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah,
Well, and I think
Yeah.
they kind of they're a strange band because 92 is so early for a band that sounds like them to be coming out.
Yeah.
Like you would never heard anything like that at that point.
No.
And then, this comes out in 96. Battle of Los Angeles is 99, 2000, somewhere in there. And by that point, it feels like the nu metal guys had taken portions of their sound and like cornballed it
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
made it like they made it the gym teacher thing. Like they've
Yeah.
removed
Yeah.
it from any sort of like greater political
Yeah.
message, and it's just like I'm a mad
My dad.
white guy, dude.
My dad, my stepdad, my mom's boyfriend,
Yeah,
all of that.
my girlfriend's boyfriend.
My
This
girlfriend's
sucks. So
My
yeah,
little brother.
so yeah, it's like they had this like extremely unique sound, but it feels like even by the end of the decade, like it had already been like stripped for parts.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good point. I didn't even think about how, while listening to this, how it affected or created the new metal genre.
Yeah.
And it totally did. I mean, come on.
Rage ran so Limp Bizkit could stumble and fucking
Stumble and then come back after
And-
2 decades and make dad vibes.
Dude,
Be
you don't
good
see
again.
you don't see the boys of Rage getting
Yeah.
back together to talk about being a
No,
dad.
no, that's not going to happen with Ray. Only
No.
Fred Durst has a mind like that.
the mind of Mencia.
The mind of
Yeah, you never know. If Tom's down bad enough, Prophets of Biscuit.
It's
Just him and Durst.
Prophets
That'd be
of
really
Biscuit
cool.
is so funny.
Yeah, it sounds delicious, honestly.
Biscuits of Rage.
Yeah.
Biscuits
Yeah.
of Rage. That's with Wes Borland
Yeah.
and Zach De La Rocha.
Yeah,
That's like the
Biscuits
cool
of Rage
version.
is the cool version. Prophets of Biscuit is they're suing each other for naming rights. Pulling a Caius and Caius lives.
Yeah. Should we give our CAs? What do you think?
I want to give. I do want to give the CAs. I think it's time, but
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about just quickly like some songs that like
Oh, sure.
I haven't like that I got familiar with by listening to this. Like "Tire Me" is a song that I was not familiar with that I was like, that's fucking amazing. "Without a Face" I also felt that way with, like that crazy wah that Morello does on the choruses. Like he's able to make all of these choruses just sound huge.
Yeah.
By doing stuff like that. "Snake Charmer" also like very fun.
I really like the dive bomb, like the bass dive bomb, call and
Yes.
response with the guitar and
Yeah.
that sounds so fucking
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
And "Year of the Boomerang" has like one of my favorite like weird sketchy Tom Morello guitar lines in it in the verse part, like where it kind of gets quiet and then like I can't describe how it goes, but like it sounds like wires fucking frayed and lighting themselves on fire or something.
Yeah, and that tempo change in that to where like they speed it up is really sick, and that feels very like a 70s rock band. Like we're gonna play the riff faster and cooler
Yeah.
now. I really like "Without a Face." I think it has like it's probably the most hip hop thing on the record.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it has like the bass line and the drum groove. Like it's cool to hear them do something that feels a bit more hip hop,
Yeah.
whereas like this is a very rock centric
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. We going right into the CAs?
Sure.
Before we go into CAs, I did want to ask, what do you guys think? What's your favorite riff on the record?
Down Rodeo.
Down
for
Rodeo.
Sure.
Yeah, opening. Not the opening. The like main lick in Down Rodeo.
I feel like it's either that for me or Vietnow.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Also.
It's so fucking sick.
Yeah, it's very
What's
cool.
What's the worst song on the record?
Worst song on the
Yeah,
record.
that's interesting. That's one I can't.
Maybe Roll Right.
I liked Roll Right.
It's good. I mean, it's really hard to choose.
It might be Wind Below.
Maybe that.
Yeah, I think it's a very complicated riff.
Yeah.
It's the type of riff that feels like a man who's maybe written too many
Who's
riffs.
out of ideas, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, maybe you could add more notes.
Yeah, it like almost has a Seinfeld vibe to it.
It does. Yeah. And then there's like the noodling is like this spooky, like haunted house kind of thing, and it just felt like, okay.
They kind of figure it out in the chorus.
Yeah.
And it's all due to the bass line, like helping out that bad riff, like become good. But I think that is my least favorite riff on the record.
Yeah. It definitely feels that way of like a guy that has just written too many riffs. He's too deep down the riff rabbit hole.
Should have cut it, you know? Yeah. Okay. Now you have my permission to see it.
Permission to close out. I enjoyed this a lot. And it was interesting because it made me go back and listen to the debut and made me think about the two like hand in hand. And I still think that the debut is better. I think that the songs are better on the debut. I think like each one of them has an identity. They flow much more like songs than this record does. And they're like, the parts on there just feel more iconic to me. And it could just be because I've been listening to that record more in my life. But I feel like this presentation is how they should sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that record feels a little clean. The debut feels a little clean. It feels a little produced. This feels fucking like grungy, dirty, in your face. I think Zach's performances are the best thing on the record. Like there's not, even on the songs that I feel aren't as strong, like even on Wind Below or whatever the hell it's called.
Wind Below.
His performance is still great on it. Like I don't think he has a bad performance on the entire record. No. And like the character that he brings to all of these songs is so consistent. There's never a false moment. Mm-hmm. The highs on it, extremely high. Bulls on Parade is probably their best song.
Yeah.
And then I think Down Rodeo is like their coolest song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I would have loved to hear them explore something like Down Rodeo for like a whole album. Like how many, but it's so creative. I don't know how many of those you can realistically write.
Yeah, true.
There's just a couple points on the album where it feels like they're just falling back on like riff. Like we're going to write songs just consisting of riff after riff. And sometimes they gel better than others. Sometimes it just feels like we're jamming, dude.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's a really, really good record. If not, just a hair less good than the debut. I'm feeling 7.9.
7.9.
7.9. I agree with what Evan said. Like I said earlier, this was a part of like me trying to discover some new shit, and I always knew that Rage was like a lane that I could go down that was pretty easily. It would easily satisfy me, and it certainly did, because there's like riffs galore and really good production, and classic rock leaning tendencies and heavy leaning tendencies. It's just really good, and I really love how creative and not ham-fisted they are with their political messaging. Like there's not like any type of soliloquy that's like cheesy or cringe or anything. It's all very tastefully done or blunt, which I also like that too. But yeah, I mean, I had never heard. I've heard Bulls on Parade, and obviously from the prior record, Killing in the Name, and Vietnow, and things like that. But I had never heard Down Rodeo before, and like my first way through that song like gleam to me like, oh yeah, this is like, this and a lot of other songs on this album are like a step above the rest, and I want to come back and listen to them more. It's just something about how cohesive the sound is and the production and how unique the talents are that are coming together to make this. They successfully evade any type of cheese that they could be criticized by. I won't say that it stayed that way forever in their careers, but to this point, you know, where they were in 1996, they like, you know, dodged every cheese bullet.
Every cheese bullet. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Okay. Yeah, for me this was extremely fun to go back and listen to. I think Down Rodeo is like the song for like, you hear it and you're just like, oh my god, I have to listen.
It stuck out immediately.
Yeah, I had the same experience a long time. Like the first time I heard that song, I was like, okay, now I need to go. Like I really have to brush up on my rage. So it was fun to kind of get to do that again, because I have listened to this record like front to back before, but not with like full attention, you know. So getting to hear like these deep cuts and just being like impressed over and over again, and like these all like presented to me as like new songs and like as a new band. And I think if like I was to hear this band and someone told me this is a debut album of a band that is coming out in 2026, I'd be like, this is the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's a band from 96. So it's still relevant. It's still cool. There is a little bit of like cheesiness on the record because of, you know, the big heavy like blues riff, but they were kind of pioneers of that, I guess. Like this is long before you know, bands started doing that and it started to be like an eye roll. You know what I mean? I think like they were, you know, if you go back in time, hearing a big riff like Revolver, you're probably like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
So I can't really dog it, you know, for being like, you know, having those big radio rock riffs on it. And I like Audio Slave.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
mean, come on.
Like, I was thinking, do I like Audio Slave more than Rage? And it's questionable.
It's questionable.
I know Rage is better.
Yeah.
But
Audio Slave
Cochise?
rules. Yeah, Cochise is awesome. Show Me How to Live.
Oh, dude.
So good.
Also a really sick band name. Audio
Slave.
Slave.
Very good.
Yeah, come on.
They're like 2 for 2 for band names.
Yeah, totally.
Prophets
totally.
of Rage.
Prophets of Rage,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go higher than you guys. I just had I had more fun listening to this. It for me it's like one of the classic reviews where like I haven't listened to it a million times, but like I'm listening to it again and like wanting to really go back every time and being excited about it. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Which is an 8.1.
8.1. What do we got?
I'm thinking.
Okay, all right. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. It's tougher with the classic reviews.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cheese bullet, hell yeah.
Cheese bullet, hell yeah, seems right.
Yeah, that's good.
Cheese bullet's good.
With a pocket full of shells and Velveeta.
Velveeta shells.
Rally around your family with the box of mozzarella. That'd be good. A cheese bullet would be like the tip of a mozzarella stick. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
I mean, I'm pretty sure at the bar near us, they call them cheese bullets.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Go get some cheese bullets.
Yeah.
Tom Morello needs to get over there with his lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
You've been
awesome.
served.
It's weird that Tom Morello. I don't know. It's just like Tom Morello is one of those guys that has become Rock and Roll Hall of Fame emeritus.
Yeah.
And was he on the VH1 shows too?
No, but he's like it wouldn't be weird if he was in like, you know, always being a presenter at like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremony. You know what I mean?
Organized the whole Ozzy show. Like the
did he?
whole
Did he
thing.
really?
He like
Oh, that's right.
He helped
He did.
Sharon like
Yeah.
put everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels like a guy that just like knows everybody.
Yeah.
But I felt like maybe I'm just thinking of Scott Ian.
You're thinking of Scotty.
You are.
Scott Ian was on all the VH1
Every
shows.
single
and,
one.
Yeah.
Just
He
being like, yeah, I
lived.
remember Pet Rocks.
Oh yeah, I love the 90s or whatever. Yeah,
we need the guy from Anthrax to come in and talk about the Rubik's cube.
Yeah, no, I had a pet rock.
Yeah.
It did nothing.
Here's your
that was his joke.
That was it.
Yeah,
Here's your $1,500, Scotty.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah,
Scott.
Between that and the plasma you just gave.
Everyone else was like doing it like freelance. Scott Ian was working that VH1 9 to 5.
Oh,
yeah.
He was clocking in
Here's
and
our
out.
intern, Scotty.
Wonder what he's doing now.
He's starting the new super group, dude.
Prophets of Rage.
Prophets of Rage too.
Cool.
Let us know what you thought of Evil Empire, or what you think of Evil Empire. Let us know in the comments. Do you think it's their best album? Do you think it's their worst album? Do you think it's the album that doesn't even crack the top 10? I always go way too hard.
I know.
At the end.
Do you hate me? Do you hate us?
Do you hate my family?
Leave a comment down below. Let us know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for podcast clips and comedy skits. Subscribe on Patreon, $5 a month to become a quitter for bonus content. We're going to be talking about more anniversary albums in the next Patreon episode. And get a shirt right there.
Rep it.
Support the show.
Fly the flag.
Thanks everyone for watching. Since I quit my band. Goodbye.